Manchester United 0, Bournemouth 3, and it just goes from bad to worse to despair, from disappointment to despair to. I can't even think of whatever analogies to use. Manchester United are just completely and totally in the mud. I mean, it doesn't get much worse than that, does it? Really, it doesn't get much worse than 3-0 at home, consecutive 3-0 defeats at home to Bournemouth in consecutive seasons, by the way, too. It's just not good. I mean, I don't know what more to say, really. United are absolutely shambolic. We are weak. We're passive. All of the players are just nowhere near good enough. I mean, nowhere near good enough. It's just shocking. It's absolutely shocking. And I think United now moving forward, I think we're now into the territory where we are talking about this season, and is this season a write-off, and how bad is it going to get, for us moving forward, because we are just so far off it. And I don't know. I don't know where United go from here. I mean, Ruben Amorim said that the storm was coming, and my goodness me, is it here? And it doesn't look like that it's going to end anytime soon, does it? So I'm sure there'll be plenty to talk about. I'm sure lots of people will want to have their say. This is the full-time viewer. Members can call in and have their say. If you do wish to become a member, you can do so. Links in the video description. It's also pinned in the chat. Let's get straight to the calls. Let's go to Amador. Amador, where are you? Did you decide to run away from Manchester United? I don't blame you.
I decided to do a KG. Decided to go abroad, South Spain, watching the game.
Nice.
So
yeah,
blessed for that. So thank you, Owen. Thanks for having me on.
Yes. How are you feeling after all of that, Amador?
I have to be honest with you. I was watching. I thought I was like back in time 12 months ago, because I swear we lost against Bournemouth 3-0 at home last season.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like to me. And I echo everything that you said on the full-time view. Sorry, on the view that you said. So I don't want to repeat most of what you said about the players, but I fear for Amorim now a little bit. I fear for him in the sense that the press will now start getting on him, like 2 wins, 3 losses. And yes, there's a style of play, but these players I thought would have been fighting for him. But when we were 3-0 down, Owen, I saw the players like on the 90th minute. You could see the Bournemouth players were still hungry, fighting for every ball. Our players just look lack of confidence, and they just don't know what to do. So I fear for the manager a little bit. I don't think he'll get sacked, but I think there's going to be more troubled times ahead, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I mean, what do you make of some of the individuals too? I mean, it's almost like you can't even pick out. It feels weird to single out them individually because they're all collectively so bad. But is there anyone that stood out to you negatively?
Mazraoui had a poor game today, to be honest. Mainu, I think we need to start having a real conversation about Mainu. I know he came back from injury, but today he was just. I know he had a few moments where he wriggled himself out of a tight position, but overall, I just don't think he's there. So I don't know whether he's lost performance. And I don't think the fan base want to talk about it because he's a favourite of our fan base. So I'm not saying get rid of Mainu, but we have to, Mainu's a big boy. We should be able to ask questions of him. But what impressed me more was the Bournemouth players, Owen. I know this is a United View channel, but I want to give a shout out to Kluivert and Semenyo. They're very, very good players, and it just goes to show if you've got athletes who understand the system and know what their roles are, they can be so effective. And those 2 players in particular, Semenyo and Kluivert, really caused our right-hand side defence lots of problems. So credit to Bournemouth.
Credit to Bournemouth. Do you think this season we're heading into territory where it is a write-off? I mean, we're nearly at Christmas now. We're 13th.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Just unfortunately, we have to accept that this is going to be a tough season for us. Even before Ten Hag left, the season was almost a write-off. Now it is. I definitely don't think we're going to get top 4. I would go far to say I don't think we're going to qualify for Europe in through the league. I'll be deadly honest with you. I think we'll be finishing around about 10th, 11th, similar to what Chelsea did 2 seasons ago. That sort of season where we're just going to be frustrated, and we have to be prepared for that. We have to back this manager. And I hope he uses this time to find out which players he can trust and which players need to be shipped out as soon as possible. I just hope he's given the opportunity. What we don't want is another rinse repeat or say, oh, the players get away with it. I just can't deal with that. We need a reset, and unfortunately, this is the season where it's going to happen.
And just finally, of course, Rashford out the squad again today. Do you think he's played his last match for United?
I hope so. I hope so. He needs to go. I don't care, to be honest.
Is that where you're out of it? Just done with it?
No, I don't care about Rashford. I'm not about my club, but I don't care about Rashford. He can go start pole dancing. I don't care. I don't care about him.
Pole dancing, Amador. I mean, that's typical Amador, isn't it? So Amador doesn't care about Marcus Rashford because of pole dancer or not. So I think that does sum it up. Big up Amador. Appreciate him calling in. I hope he has a good time in the south of Spain too. We've got over 600 people watching. If you haven't already, click the like button and be sure to subscribe as well. Bottom right hand corner. What are people saying here in the chat? K-Flow says 40 points fight is on. What else? Ridwan says road to 12th. Skoda says Said is absolutely raging mad right now. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. It'll be interesting to see what he says tomorrow. Of course, it'll be the red carpet tomorrow, so we'll see what Said says tomorrow, because he was once saying, was it patience? He says I call for patience. So it'll be interesting to see if he does keep said patience, isn't it? Stephen F with the super chat says Amanor facts. People already blaming the manager. The fan base is unfortunately broken too and needs fixing. If we truly want a reset, then it's only going to get worse before it gets good. We are so impatient. I think. Look, I saw. I was having a bit of a back and forth talking to someone in the match view discussion there, and they were saying, "Oh, if it's not working, then he should change it, and he should change his formation." I'm going, "Nah, come on." We've criticised Erik ten Hag for doing just that, didn't we? Not changing formation, not doing this, not doing that, and no, we're bad. We're not good, and I think what we can't do, particularly with someone that has been in 6 weeks, granted, if in 18 months' time, we're like this under Ruben Amorim, then you would go, well, you've had transfer windows, you've had a period of time there. This isn't good. You need to show some kind of improvement. But was it 6 weeks in or whatever it is? A lot of these players we know aren't good enough. We know that they can't adapt. That's why I said before about them not being able to adapt. We know. We know. It's just we're shit basically. Let's go to another call. Let's go to Pav. Pav, what did you make of everything today? Is it going to get worse, or is this what we got to suffer through?
Owen, mate, I don't think I've spoken to you since last year when we won the FA Cup. It's been a long time. The thing is, like, you know me, I'm not someone who comes there and is positive just for the sake of it. So it's why I probably didn't come on, because I know this chat's different to KG's. But bro, this is rubbish, man. I feel like smashing my head against the wall when I watch United. That's what I feel like doing.
You've gone full Pep. That's what you've gone, full Pep Guardiola. Yeah,
but that guy will probably end up looking like the Red Skull out of Hydra than me. Yeah. So
yeah, it's true.
But these players, I'm not going to blame anything on Amorim, because these aren't his players. I feel sorry for the man having to come in and work with this trash. There's a lot of these players that I do not want at this squad. There's probably about 5 or 6 players that I'm happy to work with, and you probably know who they are, the ones who actually have been performing this season. And there's obviously a couple of the youngsters you could throw in there, like Yoro and Kobe. But I hate these players, man. I hate them so much. Like, I'm ready to just scrap people, whether it's Ratcliffe, Ten Hag. That guy deserves to be in hell for what you've created at this club for the past 3 years. This is your squad. This is your doing, and we're suffering because of you. Having to build, you've literally built a car, not even a car. It's like 3 or 4 different cars built into one. Like, mate, I don't know. This team is done. Like, I was willing to write off the season as soon as we sacked Ten Hag, just because I thought we sacked him too late. He should have been gone in the first international window. And we didn't do that. And then obviously the whole Ashworth stuff happened. Like, there's all these reports that this person didn't want that player. He didn't want that player. But for now, this season is a write-off. And I said earlier in one of the group chats, we are not getting Europe this season. We will finish between 10th and 15th. And what we need to do is work out which players need to go. And I wouldn't even look at the injury list of players first. I'll be going to players, bringing them in one at a time, do you want to stay here or not? And the ones that want to leave, get them out first. Then we move on to the next lot. The injury-prone players, we got to do something about them, get them gone because you're just taking up space at this club. And then we got to look at other players who aren't performing. But I don't know, like everything's mad at the minute with this club. Talking about we got no money, we got the owner putting up prices to come watch this. Like, mate, I honestly have no respect for this ownership that have come in. I see fans were sitting there giddying up that he took a bit more percentage into the club for what? For what? Because nothing's changing.
It's nothing.
Exactly.
1%.
It's literally like I just saw people being happy, and I was like, for what? The man's put up prices. You lot are going there week in, week out. We're getting slapped about like the small victories that we get. It's like you said earlier, we have to just celebrate like wins against City and that. And mate, I honestly don't know. Like this team is trash. I was actually waiting here to see what Amorim can do up until the end of December. I didn't even need to see the next game. The season is just a write-off, mate.
Yeah, I mean, and just how long do you think it is going to take if it was to even get back? I mean, are we talking, years at this point? Because like you said, a lot of the players do have to go, and sometimes that's not going to happen in one transfer window. So it's going to be us for a while.
How long did we give this manager? Was it a 2-year deal or 2.5-year deal?
2.5, I think it was, which I think obviously means this season and 2 more seasons, yeah.
I think if the season goes the way it goes, I don't want him sacked, but I think I think Ratcliffe and them man might pull the trigger just because they gave him a 2-year deal. Because he's been doing this at Nice, sacking managers. It doesn't matter how long they give him, 2 year, 3 year, 2 years or 3-year deals. I think he could be at a risk of losing his job as well. And that's just because of what I'm only going out off of what he's been doing at Nice. And their fan base warned us that he does this. So we have been warned. Again, anyone who's sitting there thinking the manager's untouchable, I think you might want to rethink that. But other than that, mate, I've got nothing else to say. Good luck to Amorim, mate. You're going to need I wouldn't even expect anything at Christmas, mate. Just pray to God these players turn up for you because they will throw you under the bus. A lot of them will.
Yeah, no, I agree. Big up, Pav. Appreciate you calling in as well. Yeah, I don't think I've spoken to Pav for ages. But, he's right. And do you know what it is as well? At this stage, it's not even like, sometimes, when things are this bad, I think it's almost like with United fans, when we're on like the way down, which we have been for like 18 months, whatever, there's a lot of infighting, don't we? And no, don't say that about this player, don't say that about player, don't say about that manager, don't say that. And when you're this bad, everyone just goes, yeah, we're shit. Everyone just goes, we're shit. I agree, because there's no sort of wrong opinion, is it, on a lot of these players? They're all rubbish. You know what I mean? They're all terrible. And I think there's an element of sympathy, certainly. I agree with that with Ruben Amorim, of just like, mate, you had no idea what you're walking into with this. It's bad. It is bad. We've got nearly 1,000 people watching. We're just over 100 likes. If we can get to 250 on the road to 500 likes, let's go to another call. Let's go to GJE. I mean, the guy's clutching his chest. Are you clutching your chest as well, watching that today? Muted. Mute game strategy. Just silent.
Sorry,
silence
I'm on
like
mute.
Manchester
My bad.
United.
You know what,
back.
Owen? I was literally just laughing because I was like, I think we're so bad. We're so bad that it's funny. Like, it's a comedy show. This is a skit or something because I don't have much to say on the game because I think the game was a terrible performance. The results gives it away. I mean, we conceded 3 goals that I think were all stoppable. How many goals are we going to concede from set pieces? Today was it a corner or a free kick? I can't remember. I just remember a corner or cross coming in, and then the header and then the penalty, and then it was just terrible. But for me, I just want to say, because I can't lie, this might be the last time you might see me on here in a long time because I can't put my energy into this because these players, these players are terrible. These players are terrible. I think we need to, as a fan base, I just love everyone to accept it. We need to stop with the player FC thing. Rashford, get him out now. Bruno, get him out. Get everybody out. If I'm Ineos, anyone that came under the Glazer regime, they need to go. I'm telling you, if they hired the chef under the Glazer regime, even the chef needs to get the hell out. That's how strongly I feel about this. Change everything. You know when Flex was on there saying under Eric, scrap it all up, do all of that. That's what Ineos needs to do. No one deserves a new chance. These players, they'll put you under the bus, like, because that performance today, atrocious, embarrassing. Like, that is not Man United. And we need to unite as a fan base to not hound the manager. We've seen every kind of manager come to this club, Owen. I'm talking about since Saf left, since Alex Ferguson left. We've seen Moyes come in, a Scottish, almost like I'm not going to call him a South manager, but we've seen from the league, etc. We've seen Louis van Gaal with a different philosophy. We've seen Mourinho. We've even seen Ralph Ragnick. We've seen Ole. We've seen Eric Ten Hag. Now we're down to Amorim, and I'm still hearing chatter that some people are saying it's the system. I'm like, what goal did we concede that was down to the system? There was no goal that we conceded today that had to do with us playing. It don't matter if we play a 3 at the back. It don't matter if we play a 4. It don't matter if we play a 5. It don't matter what we play. These players will always let you down. And the reason why is because they're not even doing the basics right. They can't even make a simple pass. They're not running. They're not trying to win their 50-50 duels. How are you supposed to win a football game if you're not even doing the basics to fight, to try and win that game? If you're not doing that, of course you're not going to win, especially when it's down to the Premier League where every team has great players, every team is somewhat good. Sometimes the difference between you winning and losing is just putting in that effort, that hard work, that passion, that fight. And when I look at these players, they don't do that. And then they're also crap. They're clearly not good footballers. Last season, they finished 8th. Now it's looking like at best, maybe we might finish 8th, or that's me even being optimistic, because at this rate, we must well just be in a relegation battle. We need to be looking at getting 40 points. Because at this rate, are we going to get 40 points? Are we? It's honestly, it's embarrassing. I think these players, get rid of the lot of them. Get rid of every single one of them. Keep the manager. The only players you keep are the likes of like Maino, you keep like a Euro, you keep a handful of them. The rest of them, you scrap the whole squad. Get rid of everybody. Terrible.
Are you in the territory of pretty much a lot of people saying it, that it is just a write-off season at this point, and basically this is going to be
Definitely.
us for the next however many weekends until the season's over?
Definitely, there's nothing. I'll be silly if I'm here to try and give some optimism when I've seen this year in, year out since Alex Ferguson left. We have players that have been here since LVG. They've been this is like, how much more do we need to see to know that this is them? Like, there's nothing different that's going to do. They might win the next game, but watch them go on the next few games and they're just going to embarrass themselves again. It's always one step forward, 2 steps back. These players are embarrassing, so there's nothing to be optimistic for. I feel so sorry for Amorim, because Amorim left Sporting that was doing so great to come to this rubbish. He must be thinking, why the hell am I here? Like, this is honestly, like, these players are embarrassing. Everybody needs to go. Everybody. I don't care who your favorite is. They all have to go, because this is clearly not good enough. It's not the standard. This manager, no one can tell me that United do not pick a manager that doesn't have a system, that doesn't have a plan, that doesn't understand football. So it's not down. This is not down to the manager. How much more can the manager give to these players? How much more can he do? Even when it comes to a case of, okay, do you know what? Rashford and Garnacho, I'm gonna take them off the squad because of what they did, and he's giving everyone a chance. I'm seeing everyone get a chance, even down to buying there. I don't know why he's even getting a chance. Sorry, I'm going back to the Spurs game, but even he's getting a chance in his team, and they're all embarrassing. So for me, just get rid of everybody. That's really all I've come there to say, is to get rid of all the players and the fan base. I just want to rally to say, back this manager. This is not. Don't let's stop with the player FC thing. Forget your favorites. They're all not good. It's all a collective thing. It's not just a one. It's just not. There's no. What's the cliche saying? Everyone says there's no I in team or all that weird stuff. Like, it's a team thing. So all these players, they clearly need to go. This manager has just joined. We've had so many different managers. We're seeing the same sort of issue. So we need to get rid of these players now. This is not a change the manager thing, because this manager is a good, decent manager. This is a manager that I think Man City were also looking at to replace Pep. So clearly there has to be something there. So for me, I just want to get rid of these players. Just start again. Hopefully next summer. I'm not even looking at the January window now, because I like, it would be nice to get maybe a wing back or something. Like, it would be nice to do that. But I'm looking at the summer window. Like, let's just start afresh, have a clean slate, and this season let Amorim just honestly just do the best he can.
Do you worry for him though, Amorim? This is kind of what Pav was sort of saying, that depending on if we've written off the season, but if it does end up with like 15th, is he a case of, well, actually he might end up being in trouble because of these players once again,
Definitely.
or because he's Ineos' guy, is he safe?
I do worry for him, because at the end of the day, I'm a realist, and I just know that at the end of the day, winning football games is what keeps you in your job. If you keep losing, even as much as I'm saying this, I'm telling you, the fan base will turn. the fan base will turn and be like, we have to get rid of this manager. He's clearly not good enough. And so I do worry for him. So at the same time, there's a thing of he does need to kind of find a way to save himself from this, because if he keeps on losing, there's no way he keeps his job. But I don't think getting rid of the manager now is the solution again. I really don't think it is, because I just think we're just in this constant spiral with the same group of people that have let every single kind of manager down. It don't matter whether you bring an old manager, it don't matter whether you bring a young manager, it don't matter whether you bring a trophy-winning manager, it don't matter whether you bring a manager that has no experience. At this rate, it don't matter whether you bring Jesus Christ, Allah, Jah. It don't matter who you bring to manage this bloody squad. These players will let God down. That's how bad they are. They are that bad. So, unfortunately, Amorim, as much as it's nice trying to do the system, all of that, but he actually does need to put some wins. And I do feel that he's under pressure a little bit. I really do, unfortunately.
Yeah, big up GJ. Appreciate you calling in as always. Shatter says agreed and accurate. Joe Fleming says, okay, get rid of all the players and bring in a load of new ones who might not cut the mustard. Fans always think there is an easy solution for it all. I don't think, in fairness to what GJ is saying now, I don't think he's necessarily saying that is easy. I think he's saying that it's going to take time. But at the same time, again, a lot of these just players ain't it. They ain't good enough. What Ineos should do, or Sergio Markov should do, is, and I really do, it's just something in the back of my mind that worries me about this, but I hope that they do, where they sort of, they see the bigger picture. And I hope that with having some of those more football-based people in positions of power, like Omar Barada, like Jason Wilcox, etc., that they do see that it's not a Ruben Amorim thing. Like some of these players are not good enough. Some of these players aren't good. And basically we've got to dig ourselves out of a deep hole, and the hole is very, very deep. And you know, you look at someone like a Chelsea who had to fall so low to get back up. When it comes to the transfer market, you might have to be just completely ruthless, get rid of all of these people as much as you can, take a loss on some of them, find loopholes, and do what you can. The only concern is that you couldn't then have a Graham Potter situation where it's like, you know, came in, all right, we're going to back him. Well, how long was his contract? Like 6 years, and he lasted a couple of months. And you could argue whether that was fair or not, whether he was the right guy for that, you know, blah, 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 because he only had this certain amount of players. He did have a January transfer window. It's, you know what I mean? That's my worry. But I feel, I just look at it as, again, a lot of the players are just, they ain't it. They are just not good enough at all. K-Flow, the super chat, says, if Ineos are serious, they need to get their finger out and slap some money to clear out. Do a Chelsea and stop this patchwork. No new contracts for players like Maguire and all. It's time to put up or shut up. And look, it's not necessarily point scoring or anything like that, but I mentioned before, that's why with the Maguire stuff, you know, I've had that conversation with Flex on one of the morning shows when it's like, well, you know, I trigger the option. I'll go, no. Even if it meant, you know, oh, we're a bit short at centre back, but we'll find a solution. You know what I mean? We'll find a solution with that. It just, what we can't keep doing is keep what we've got and expect there to be much difference. And that's why it goes with like Rashford. You know what I mean? Where it goes like, oh, well, could this be the guy to get the best out of him? No, nobody can. You know, Rashford, Maguire, whatever place you can think of, even like a Bruno, going, all right, go in a different direction. We'll try and find suitors. Like, we can't, there's been constants with a lot of these players, and they're just not it. They're just not it. And if it means that we're going to, you know, we might be short in certain positions, all right, we're short in certain positions. We'll figure it out. You know, we'll find other solution, because what we've got at the moment is not it. Someone like, you know, with the Mason Mount thing of like, oh, I feel really bad for him. Yeah, be ruthless. Go, sorry, it's not worked out. We're trying to move you on. And that might be impossible because he's got a contract, but you've got to try. And even if it means being bastards, you know, you saw how Chelsea treated Raheem Sterling or what have you, but he don't play for Chelsea anymore, does he? And they managed to get replacements in. Have to be ruthless. And then the only thing I would say to that is, though, when we are ruthless, what we can't do as a fan base is then get, you know, really in a tears and start going, I can't believe he's done that to this player. I can't believe they've done that. I can't believe they've frozen this player out. I can't believe they treated this player like this, because we're the same people that on match days, when it's like this, we complain how shit it is. But then also we complain that, oh, that player got treated so badly. Well, guess what? They're not delivering. And until we get rid of a lot of them, they're not going to deliver. You know, I don't even necessarily blame them that much because they're shit. You know what I mean? They are shit. That's who they are. You know, and if we tolerate it, then that's on us. That's then our fault for tolerating that kind of stuff. That's it. So yeah, but I know that, look, as Red Devil says there, you know, I know that won't change because we're having it right now. Where if you can't believe this player got treated like badly, or that player got treated badly, or this player, you know, fucking hell, for like a couple of weeks ago, we're doing free buy in deer. Like, what? Free buy in deer? Oh my God. So, you know, because we love it. We are totally gluttons for punishment. That's who we are, you know. So this season is a write-off. You know, this season is it's not, you know how bad it is as well. It's not even, we're not even at the stage where it's like, oh, okay, we'll just focus on the Europa League, because what are we going to do in Europa League? Have you seen us today? Have you seen how we're performing? And I know cup competition, you never know. Anything can happen, of course, but we're so not in the position to be like, well, we're just focusing on this competition. We were just meant to be focusing on the Premier League. Good, we went out of the Carabao Cup because we're just focusing on the Prem. That scoreline there is us focusing on the Premier League. That's our whole focus. We're focusing on the Prem right now, and that focus led to a 3-0 loss at home again to Bournemouth. So yeah, it's not good. And as far as January solutions, the January window is what it is. I'm not expecting much. No, obviously, look, if we did get rid of Rashford, FFP, you know, in terms of pure profit, we might have some wiggle room. But I think you also have to be careful, because if you try and go big in January, who's available, and two, you can really overpay, and you can end yourself in a really shitty position. It's not impossible, but you can end yourself in an even worse position. So that's Manchester United's, you know, Christmas gift to us all is a 3-0 home defeat against Bournemouth. Next game is Wolves away, which, unless I'm mistaken, did they win today? I think they won today. I saw. Yeah, 3-0 away at Leicester. That was a proper 6-pointer as well, wasn't it? Oh, I tell you what, Rude, you've had one there. 3-0. And to be fair, that job that Rude picked up at Leicester is not easy. But yeah, Wolves 3-0, and suddenly they can't win a match for love nor money. They concede a shit ton of goals, by the way, Wolves as well. Conceded 40 goals this season. New manager, clean sheet, 3-0 win. Oh my God. And now we got to go away to Wolves. I swear, didn't we play them like really early in January last year when Cobby scored his goal? So I got no trust of this team. I got no trust of these players to get any of that done. Ugh. And then knowing that, you know, we got some games that we've got coming up. Like we got on the 30th, we've got Newcastle at home. And now as much as like the whole home and away thing, like it's kind of irrespective actually where we're at too, isn't it? You know, home or away, it doesn't matter. You know, Newcastle could come to Old Trafford. The way we're playing at the moment, Newcastle come to Old Trafford, beat us 3-0. Oh, of course they could. Of course they could come to Old Trafford, beat us 3-0. Then after that, we're going away to Anfield. You know, and we saw what happened when we played Liverpool on our own patch earlier on the season, let alone going away to that. Fucking hell. Yeah, that is Man United. And then got to go to Arsenal in the FA Cup. So we are, I don't even know if we could say free fall. You know what I mean? I don't know if we could say free fall. We're just shit. We're just so categorically bad. Because they rip it up and all that. The season is a total write-off. Obviously, now there's going to be even more drama because obviously with the Rashford stuff in January coming up, and like I said, it'll be interesting to see if United try to do anything come January when it comes to you know, transfers and stuff like that. I just don't know if financially we can do it. So who knows? Who knows, folks? Anyway, big up to everyone that called in. Big up to everyone that tuned in. A reminder, there are going to be fan views from Flex and many others outside Old Trafford. I'll I was going to say, yeah, I'll speak to you because I'll be on the morning show tomorrow. So we'll speak to you before Christmas. If you don't see me before Christmas, have a good Christmas. Don't let Manchester United ruin it. Enjoy the festivities and the holidays. Yeah, that's where Manchester United are at, isn't it? That's where Manchester United are at, indeed. Big up to everyone. And I'll speak to you again very soon. Fan views coming up from outside Old Trafford. I'm out of here. Peace.